Hello. Welcome to Dead Air. How you doing, everybody? I'm Brian Holtzman, or they call me Holtzman. I didn't really care for that first name they gave me, and we got an exciting... Hello, Redban. How are you?
Hey, buddy.
And we're a little bit late getting started. We like to start at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, but Earl had some construction issues on the way on the road, so he was, I guess, 20 minutes late, I guess. I wanted to start, but Redban said, no, we'll wait. But it's not your fault, and it's something that, you got to take 10 breaths and let it go. There's no sense of being a hothead, and I'm not a hothead. I'm not a hothead. I'm working on myself. I'm trying to be better. But we got Earl the Pearl Monroe is back. So happy that you came back. He's been here before, so there's no reason to swear you in. And we have, for the first time on Dead Air, and I am excited. It wasn't easy to get this guest here, Kate Kennedy. I'll just get out and say it. I don't know, a former professional adult actress.
Yes.
And a damn good one at that.
Oh, thank you. I wouldn't say that, but
And
I appreciate
the
it.
first one we've had on Dead Air, we're very excited. There's going to be a lot of questions that I think everybody in the room is going to want to ask you. And we'll keep it as tasteful as possible. We don't want to get into your shit, and no pun intended. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy to have you here. I know you're busy. You've done television interviews. You've got your own Kennedy assassination website that's going on. And you've got just a lot of things in the frying pan. Like my brother Bruce says, you've got a lot on your plate, right?
Yeah.
So welcome. You don't mind if we swear you in, since this is your first time? If you don't mind, put your right hand on the Bible and swear to tell the whole truth. Raise your right hand, left hand on the Bible. And please swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God while you're on this podcast.
So help me God. I will tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Thank you.
I've clearly never been to court.
It's early. That was Bad Ashley. They always bring the music in. They're great. They're from back east in Queens. And if you want to follow them on Instagram, it's Bad Ashley Band on Instagram. Bad Ashley Band, and you'll have all the links to their music. And they're coming along strong. He tells me that bars will be opening up in a week or so back east, and they're going to start getting things back together. And a shout out that I forgot last week to Dan Perdue from Newbury Park, California, about 50 miles north of here, Thousand Oaks, I believe. Mm-hmm. Dan Perdue. So thank you, Dan, for being who you are, and don't change. And I hope things work out with your father and your Aunt Louise, and I guess the problems you're having with the eviction. So, Bob and Paul, my sister and her husband, are down, and they moved to Fort Myers. Florida's great, but you better have air conditioning. I mean, you really just can't go out of the house. It's too hot. It's too hot. And you got bugs, and you got alligators, and you got Walt Disney World. There's a lot of problems down there. And I've got so much to do today. I've revamped the 10 questions. There have been some changes made. Redban and I were up late last night with the producers, and we got rid of some questions and added some other ones. How are you doing today? You seem like you're in a great mood.
I'm just, I'm soaking it in until you bring me in.
No, you jump in anytime. You know that. This is Dead Air. Both of you. Yeah, you jump in anytime you want.
Okay.
Sweetheart. Is it okay to call you sweetheart?
Yeah, that's fine. You can call me Hey You.
Toots.
Whatever.
Call her Toots.
Baby doll. Now, have you met before?
I'm the one who booked her on this podcast.
Right. So how do you know Kate?
We
Earl?
did a film called Take It in the Ass 7. I was the pool guy. No,
He is a very flexible asshole.
I heard you have one of the most famous, I don't know if I'm out of line, bungholes in the business. Is that true? Is that true? Did I hear
what are you asking me for? I don't know what her asshole is.
I did win an award for prettiest butthole earlier this year. I think I won. I might have been nominated. I think I won.
Have you done anything to the butthole, like bleached it or anything to make it more attractive? A lot of women in Hollywood like to bleach their... is butthole, what would you call it? It was butthole, is butthole?
Butthole's the scientific term,
okay?
I think, yeah.
I mean, butthole, asshole, mud hut, turd cutter, brown eye.
And that's why you come back to Dead Air. We can count on you to be very, very good.
I can't name one girl in porn, but I can name at least 10 guys.
I can name one.
I don't even watch it. I can tell you right now, just off the top of my head, Jeff Stryker, TT Boy, Tom Byron, Ron Jeremy, who's probably filming one in jail right now. What a shock he would get me too.
And you're also a comic.
Yes, I am.
So
yes,
we got so much to talk to you about, I guess. But I also brought a couple of other Air Force letters of interesting letters. If we get to those, if not, it'll be another episode perhaps. And let's get to the weather. The weather's very important on Dead Air. There's not a person that doesn't care about the weather. If you ask somebody about the weather and they say they don't care, they
might live in Southern California.
It's hot outside. It's hot outside. Very humid.
Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's hotter.
We're coming from beautiful Burbank. That's a nice little denim jacket.
Thank you. I got it at the Silver Lake Flea this weekend.
You don't think it's too warm for that kind of coat?
No, I mean, it's nice.
You
and
like it?
What, are you
light.
just trying to see her knockers?
No, that's not true.
It's nothing to write home about.
Fucking-
Trust me, the butthole is way more impressive.
Could you switch seats? No, I'm only kidding.
Would you come already?
No, I am excited. I've never had the chance to, be in the same room with an actress of your stature.
Thank you. Thank you.
The temperature's 91 degrees today in Burbank and 32.7 Celsius. The biometric pressure. I still haven't figured out what that is. Do you know what the biometric? You're a golfer. What's the fucking biometric pressure?
It's the pressure that comes from the sky. No, it's true. It comes from the sky and makes it hotter or warmer or cooler based on the temperature.
The biometric pressure is 29.85. The dew point is 46. The winds are, again, southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. It seems to be the prevailing wind speed in this part of the universe. It doesn't change. Redban and I have been on the phone with the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, and we're on hold, and they won't give us an answer about that. The moon is a waning Gibson, 58%. Waning Gibson. Who is this Gibson character?
Seems like it's that a lot, too.
I know. It's always Gibbous. Gibson. You ever turn down a job?
Yeah, I turned down a lot of jobs. Yeah.
High tide is
Wait, can we ask? I mean, how do you turn down like an anal gangbang?
I've never turned down an anal
well,
gang.
maybe they give you a little white flag. You can just hold that up and hey, I don't want to play anymore. Hey, put that thing away.
But like,
Get rid of this pool table right now. Why do they always need a pool table when they gang rape? I was wondering
no, it's a
about that.
pinball machine in the accused. Know your fucking references.
Isn't he great?
That's amazing.
But
Well,
you're
no,
great
I mean,
too.
but I know like certain girls they won't work with Ron Jeremy.
Yeah,
Or
I
stuff like
turned
that.
down a shoot with Ron Jeremy before. I opened for Ron
And
Jeremy.
what was the
in
reason why you
Vegas.
turned? What was the particular reason you turned the opportunity down?
I turned down a lot of stuff. I really only worked with people that I liked or that I knew. I came into porn actually as a producer. Like I worked behind the scenes for a year. So by the time I started performing, I already pretty much knew most people. So I knew this person's fucking the same reason you wouldn't want to be on a show with somebody this person's creepy. I don't like this person. I don't want to be associated with this person.
Yeah, I used to be the fluffer on the porno film. I used to be able to. My job was to get the penis stiff, and
It's a
after a
thankless
while,
job.
I didn't like it. After a while, it wore on me. I'd
I
get home.
bet.
I'd get home at night and be so tired of doing that I would abandon myself. It's so sad. So why would you turn down? Because you want to be comfortable with your.
Yeah, you want to do a good scene. You don't want to work with somebody. Personally, I don't want to work with somebody I'm not attracted to.
do
No, I get it. It's all about the timing. Like when she talks about she doesn't want a guy's semen taste bad. It's like, what am I, the black guy from Police Academy?
So, do you get in trouble when you turn down a star like Ron Jeremy?
No, not at all. No, for sure. My
don't-
agent was always very.
They don't
very
call
cool.
you a little stuck-up little bitch.
Stop fucking-
Why
stop being a fucking-
why can't you have sex with everybody else? Yeah, how come you say you can't have? Did they ever get on you like that and say you're just a little stuck-up, little spoiled little porn star?
Yeah, actually, but it's mostly girls that would call me that in porn. I had a lot of people that didn't, because I went to college. And so then people would be like, oh, you're fucking, you're doing this piss off your parents. I could piss off my parents a lot of other more creative ways than this.
Exactly.
I just don't like working very hard.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, don't most girls, or not most, but some girls have a thing they won't work with Max Hardcore because he's too aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't allowed to work with him. He's a huge fan of mine.
What do you mean he's too aggressive? He gets on him?
I mean, I watched one of his films, and like, it was just like
He went to jail.
Yeah,
for
he's
a
in
while.
jail, right?
it
Yeah,
bordered
he
on
was,
abuse.
yeah.
Like, he would do this thing called the fish hook, or he'd get behind the girl and like, and the girl was deaf, and so like, it was like.
Wait, you didn't open with the fact that she was deaf?
Let's get back to the weather. Can we get back
Well,
to
you
the
asked,
weather?
that's why I'm on the show.
Yeah, I hate the medical reports. That seems like that's bordering line on the medical reports. I don't want to go there. Oh my God.
So
So the moon is away, waning Gibson, of course. You can see 58% of it. High tide is at 9:57 p.m. Sunset at 7:09 p.m. Humidity is 30%, so that's not bad. Ultraviolet rays are very high, 8. So watch out. You're very white. I
I'm
love
very
the way your
pale.
skin just looks white.
Thank you.
You're just a very white girl today.
I got a sunburn at the Black Lives Matter march.
watch out.
I felt like it was the least I could do.
You'll burn up. You're so white, you'll burn up. You need more than sunscreen. And humidity 30%, very high, 8 for the UV. Air quality is moderate. I can't believe it could be moderate after all these northern wildfires, if you want to call them. You know how they start? Usually these wildfires start?
Gender reveal party's gone wrong.
Somebody sets a cat on fire, and that cat just runs, and it just keeps running. Anyway, there's a lot of people that don't like cats. I don't know why. Air quality is moderate. Visibility, 10 miles for you pilots out there. It's always 10 miles. Chance of precipitation, said it right this week, is 0. Hottest places, of course, in the Middle East at Kuwait.
Qatar.
119 degrees Fahrenheit, 48 degrees Celsius. The reason I had to add Celsius is I had some clown telling me he wanted to hear it in Celsius, so I had to do the extra research for that. Antarctica, of course, is the coldest, negative 95 degrees Fahrenheit and negative 70 degrees Celsius. The driest place, I guess, is in Northern California right now. No, it's not right. And the wettest is India, 6.5 inches of participation. I'm kind of reading this kind of quick because I just there's a lot of things people want to know about you. I know that, and you too.
Yeah, but
You're interesting too, Earl.
I've never done anything like have a 14-inch pee-pee at my butt. So that's insane to me. Like I got a big dick, and it's 14 inches. It's like, that's next level.
I mean, I was watching it on the screen when we were filming it, and I had this moment where I was like, this is what people feel like when they watch footage of their own colonoscopy. Like, I don't want to know this about myself. I'm just going to turn my head.
I had one of those already. Did you have one of those yet? You're
A
too young.
14-inch dick? No.
Okay.
I had one prostate exam.
In some of the big things that happened on this day, this is the 9th of September in history. 1776, the United States was named the United States by the Continental Congress. 1776. 1839, this is one for Redban. John Herschel invented the first glass plate photograph.
Thank you. That was for me.
And I guess it was before film. After this, then they started doing it on film, But
Like a slide.
Yeah, it was like a slide. They had to put some chemicals on there, and that's how they got the image. So thanks, 1839. God, it just shows you that we're here for just like a second. Just a freaking second. 1839. You think they were just in the mud playing with their ball cage, but they were out inventing things and doing stuff and.
In the mud hut. Maybe they were in the mud hut.
1926. Guess what was formed today?
The KKK?
Close. National Broadcasting Company, NBC. Was 1926 was invented or formed or they got together. So that's great. 1947. The first computer bug, Redban, found in a relay on a Harvard Mark II computer at Harvard University. First.
Yeah, it was an actual
Computer
moth.
bug.
It was a moth that flew into it. Yeah, that's why it's called a computer bug.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was a bug that somebody tries to hack in.
Now that's what it's called, but it's called that because it was a moth that flew into their
And
mainframe.
it stopped the contact on the relay.
Yeah, it fucked it up. It like fried on the.
Oh,
Wow,
my
you're
God.
correct. That's insane. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Jeez, see, you're more than just an adult film actress. It's obvious.
Thank you.
God.
I didn't get into grad
fascinating.
school. Like,
Yeah, she found other ways to make a living.
1956, Elvis appears for the first time on the Ed Sullivan Show. I was thinking about this other day. How did Ed Sullivan get that job? He's got the worst stage presence. He can't even speak. He's not hard to look at. I mean, who did they interview for that job? How did that idiot Ed Sullivan get to have that big show? You've seen Ed
Yeah,
Sullivan.
yeah.
He's like a brick that holds a door open. He's just an idiot. He's just an idiot. He can't even speak. He's bald. He's stupid.
Well, get him into L.A. comedy.
Look at him. Who were the people that they were interviewed? Why didn't somebody else get that job? Ed Sullivan.
You did not like Ed Sullivan.
It occurred to me the other day.
I actually just saw this clip of Elvis.
Look
this
at
morning.
him. Look at him. He looks like a truck driver. He looks like a muffler mechanic.
He was my neighbor as a kid, Elvis. Last few years. of
What
his
neighborhood
life.
was that? Levittown, Long Island?
No, Bel Air, baby.
Beverly Hills. That's where I wanna be. Beverly. Oh, I love that song. Every time I listen to it in the car, I call him. And it goes, of course, to his message. God, Elvis.
I don't like this Elvis. I like the fat, bloated one.
The one on the stamp?
Yeah, the one I knew as a neighbor. Just sweating bullets. You know.
Poor Elvis.
Did you ever meet him, Earl, as a kid?
As a kid, I did, but I really didn't appreciate the gravity of who I was meeting. So I was like, oh, it's just my neighbor who sings on TV.
Wow. That's awesome.
How old were you when you met Elvis?
He died in 1977, so I was probably like 6 years old.
Poor Elvis. See, you gotta...
What a shock he would die with his lifestyle.
You know, he had that manager, that terrible
Colonel Parker.
He treated him like a cattle, you know, leading him around by the nose, telling him what to do.
Welcome to the business.
Jesus, horrible. I'm your manager. No, you're not. You're not. You're not. But there was nobody to help him. There was nobody to help him. Go to Las Vegas and rot. Rot in the desert, shaking your ass on a stage till you drop dead on a toilet.
You should have asked one of those fellows that are singing behind him right here.
It's the business.
Well, it's a cruel
It's
business.
a cold business. Yeah. This guy was a hillbilly from the South. Oh, what's a contract? Oh, you don't need that kid. I'll take.
Yeah,
care
they
of
gave
it.
him a couple of shiny Cadillacs, and that made him happy for the rest. You know, oh, I got a Cadillac. You can have me in the butt. It's okay.
Yeah.
Here's a couple sandwiches and pills. I'll see you at the recording studio. You fucking idiot.
I bet he wasn't on time either.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Well, he didn't have to deal with construction on Laurel.
Jeez, then making him make all those dumb movies, sitting on the beach, singing to these idiots.
Here's a song from my album, friends.
Momo.
Before we do this song, I'd like to tell everybody that
I'm dumb as a box of rocks.
that they made this the best Christmas that we've ever had. We would like to thank everybody for all the wonderful Christmas presents and Christmas.
Spit it out, Elvis. Spit it out, you bumbling idiot.
Look at these fucking goofs behind him.
Oh, my God. They're all going, they wish they were Elvis. They wish they were getting the hand jobs that Elvis gets every 5 seconds, right? He went to Germany in the military. His skin was completely off his penis from the hand jobs. Everywhere he went, German women wanted to give him hand jobs.
Then those German women, they got a tight grip.
Some real gorilla grips over
Yeah,
there.
Gorilla Glue, that's it. 1971, this is kind of a sad one. Today's the first day of the 4-day Attica prison riot. 39 dead.
Attica.
The ones with the guns win. Yeah. So if you don't know what we're talking about, just Google Attica prison riot, and it'll be quite an interesting item of interest for you to read.
It's one of my favorite things to yell at weddings I don't really want to be at. Thank you. My dad doesn't laugh when I do it.
Does he have a sense of humor?
Yeah. I mean, he
Well,
just
tell him to pull it out of his ass.
Like, I don't want to talk to grandma
Who
anymore.
is this character? Oh, here he is. This is the guy responsible, the warden, I guess. Yeah, the guys with the guns always win.
Well, Robert Redford did a good movie about it, Brubaker.
Yeah, I like that movie. I saw that movie. That was one of like 2 movies he did. He didn't do a lot of movies, did he? He did a few movies here and there. Turned down a lot of scripts, huh?
Yeah.
Robert Redford was the janitor at the dive bar at my college before he
yeah.
came to Hollywood. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What college did you go to?
I went to CU Boulder, University of Colorado.
Wow, up in the mountains, huh?
Yeah, Boulder. That's where I'm from.
Did you see any badgers up there?
No, there was a bear one time on campus. We had to
Don't go
like
near a badger.
Was it Tony Falcone?
That's where Rogan originally moved to, is Boulder, Colorado, for like 6 months, and then he moved back.
I remember that. We were really annoyed about it. I'm going to be perfectly honest.
Really?
None of you can fucking drive in the snow, and a lot of people followed him out there.
Yeah, people out here in LA don't know how to drive in the rain.
No.
They go just the same miles per hour in the rain as they do on dry surfaces, and they wonder why they're upside down on the side of the embankment,
Yep.
strapped to their seatbelt. You know, do you know anything about hydroplation?
Yes, I do. I've hydroplaned before. It's scary as
Scary
fuck. Yeah.
Oh, so that was Attica. Not a good day. 4 days of that nonsense went on until they called in the big guns, and that was the end of that. 1972, Kentucky's Mammoth Cave National Park. Mammoth and Flint Ridge Caves supposedly are the longest cave passageway in the world. But there are probably longer passageways in the world that haven't been discovered.
Like my asshole.
Hello.
Well, hey, can you hear yourself fart? No, I'm just curious about that. Because Kobe Bryant, with that woman up in the hotel, the reason she sued, I heard, is because she was complaining she couldn't hear herself fagulate.
After a scene like that, yeah, no, you can't. It doesn't really make a sound for a while.
Yeah, you're sitting
It closes back up. It's a muscle.
It does close back up. It's a muscle. And you work
yeah.
on it, and it gets tighter, and it gets looser from whatever activities,
Got to get those reps in.
But it so the answer would be yes. You can hear yourself fagulate.
Yeah.
1999, another one for Redban, the Sega SEGA. The first 100.
So Sega, I think.
Sega. Sego. Oh, there he is.
That comic on Facts
Is that
of
you,
Life.
honey? Is that you?
This is Rear Factor.
Rear Factor.
Jesus.
Oh, people with a sense of humor are great, aren't
Love
they?
to be on the red carpet for that premiere.
Rear Factor. That's a takeoff
That's
on the
Fear Factor.
Yeah,
It's great. I'm a big fan of porno titles in general. I was in one called "Is It Wrong? She's My Stepmom," Volume 3. And then they came out with a stepdad version, but instead of they called it "Is It Wrong? He's My Stepdad." And I was like, keep with the fucking rhyme scheme. Is it bad? He's my stepdad. Jesus fucking Christ.
How many films have you appeared in?
I think about 100.
Jesus.
100?
Yeah,
And are they all
78,
filmed in the
100.
valley, like they say? 818.
Most of them are in the valley. A lot of them. Sometimes we're in the hills. I've shot in West Hollywood.
And what
I've shot in,
made
Laguna.
you retire? I guess we'll do items of interest and talk to you, and at the same time, the heck with it. Would you like to be a co-host?
I think you're doing a good job, man.
No, not on this podcast.
Oh, what am I,
No.
Darren? Am I fucking Darren Carter?
Oh yeah, that's not me. I didn't get the cover. I do have 2 voiceovers in this because when I got to set, they do a voiceover to set the scene because it saves production costs. And I got to set, and the director pulls me aside. He's like, "Kate, I need you to read the other voiceover for the scene the last girl couldn't read."
My friend's in it, Sovereign Sire.
Oh, yeah, I know the boom operator, Jimmy.
Do you God, I have so many questions for you. I don't know where to start. Do you do fellatio too? Or is that something you're not...
I used to, yeah.
In the movies, I
In the
mean.
movies, yeah.
Your personal life is your personal life. I'm
Yeah.
not going to get into that.
Yeah. No, trust me, you don't want to. It's very boring.
So I don't believe this one. 1972, they discovered this longest cave passageway in Kentucky's Mammoth Cave National Park. Sure, maybe it is, maybe it's not. You don't know what hasn't been discovered, right?
Exactly.
You haven't know. Yeah, you don't know what's been tried. I like that sound you make.
With the anal one or the vaginal one?
Let me hear it. I'll tell you.
Let me hear what? Which one?
The one that goes.
And here's the anal one, just in case, just for comparison. Spray this mic down.
1999. Yeah, the
Sega Genesis.
128-bit video game console called the Dreamcast. The first 128-bit.
I love the Dreamcast.
So what do they mean by that bit? 128 bits.
That's the graphics. How many bits?
It's so realistic.
Yeah. I mean, back then it was.
Is this
pretty good.
company out of business or still in business?
They stopped making consoles, but now they just make video games. They make they're very popular for the Sonic video games. And
But can't you buy them on eBay? Aren't they like tripled in value or whatever? Like,
yeah, they're pretty cheap nowadays because so many people just download the video games.
they're very realistic, though.
Now, this is a real good one. 2016, North Korea tested its biggest nuclear weapon.
Woohoo. Fun times.
You got to test it.
Yeah.
People get crying. They're testing. You've got to test it. How do you know it's going to work if you don't test it? All the other countries test their nuclear bombs. Are you saying that North Korea should just not test? And the way everybody's invading other countries, it might be well enough to have a nuclear weapon. Because if you didn't, they'd come after you.
What year was that?
2016. North Korea, its biggest nuclear test. You got to test them.
But are their missiles smaller than most countries? I'm doing fucking bits.
Wow. This is too much. So 100 films. God, did you... Now, what was the time period between performances, if you don't mind me asking?
It kind of depends.
And let me tell you, if it gets too kind of edgy, just stop me. Just stand up and pull your pants down,
Okay.
and that'll let me know that I've gone too far.
That's our safe word. Got it. Okay.
So, how much time between performances?
Don't look at me. I don't know. Like, what am I, your fucking manager?
It depended, because sometimes, so like a busy month for me, I might shoot like 8 to 10 movies.
Jesus, what are you
so
doing?
like
In
twice
30
a
days.
week in 30 days. But like there would be months where I would shoot like 1 or 2.
And what was the average? How long would it take to make one movie?
It depends. So like that one is the stepmom one that we just looked at.
Oh.
That one was like in and out less than 2 hours.
I mean, yeah, they're not filming
That
Avatar.
one's fucking quick. But I've been on set for 14 hours before.
Jesus.
Now let me ask you
So-
this: have you ever been gang raped by clergy members?
Yes, I
You have.
I
Wow, what a
have.
coincidence! Oh my God, tell us about that.
Well, I wanted to be an altar server, and they said it was too hot button, so they made me be a naughty Catholic schoolgirl instead. Both Earl and I were both altar servers.
Yeah, I was
as
an altar
children.
boy for
Yeah, I was an altar
12
server.
years.
My brother Bruce was,
I bet he was.
and my first girlfriend was a Catholic girl.
Yeah, they start way too late. I mean, according to Billy Joel.
Not that one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I did it for.
Yeah, I was a Boy Scout, too.
Oh my God! Did I tell you? Did I talk about this last week? I tried to get
Get in on that settlement?
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Because they took me to. I think I talked about this last week. The Deliverance. Have you seen the movie Deliverance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That anal scene with the hillbilly
yeah.
and the guitar and
Ned,
bow and arrow.
Ned Beatty, man. Come on,
Nate
give it.
Beatty just. He must have really he learned his lines pretty good.
Well, he didn't have any other than to howl. Can you imagine?
Horrible movie. Just a horrible
What do you
movie to
mean?
watch.
I came 3 times. But like he was a serious actor. Like, hey Ned, we got a role for you. You're getting raped in the woods.
He should have shot his agent.
I'll
He
take
should have
it.
went up there to William Morris and just pumped a few shots. You have an agent now?
So I'm still with my booking agent, but I'm like fundamentally I'm retired. So sometimes they book me. I do like feature shows for different campsites now, just from home. But yeah, so I'm still. I mean, I offered for them to take me off their roster. I was like, you can give my spot to someone else. They're like, no, we like you.
So you were a producer for about a year.
Yeah,
And
I was a
then-
PA and a marketing manager.
Tell us what PA stands for the people that don't know.
A production assistant.
Assistant. Okay, yeah. Not everybody's from Hollywood.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Not everybody. And so you, and then you just said I could do that.
I started filming. So I worked for like this hardcore BDSM company up in Portland, and I was dancing at the time. I danced at a vegan strip club.
And look at the way you're talking to the mic. Real.
Well,
Last week we had two guests that I had to yell at the whole time. Some of the listeners said, you were really low keyed. You should have been cursing at them. I had to tell them to move their faces towards the mic. I don't know how many times.
Yeah, it's fucking because I had.
But
my
you know
own
just how to
podcast.
do it. You just know how to do it.
Yeah,
of course she does. She's got a 14-inch dick in her ass. this is probably nothing to her.
I mean, I think it's about the same circumference.
Jeez.
So what made you retire?
COVID. So I started doing stand up a little like a year and a half ago almost, and that started to kind of take off. I started doing more of that, and then I kind of.
I'm sorry. What did you start doing a year ago?
Stand up,
Okay,
like a year and a half ago, and that started to kind of take off, and it was keeping me really busy. And I kind of had it in mind that this year I was gonna like phase out and like slowly be like, all right, and whatever. And then COVID hit, and I was like, well, I'm 26. I don't want to get my tits done. By the time we pick back up, I'll be 27, 28.
So it was time to bow out.
It was just
gracefully.
time. Yeah, I wanted to go do other stuff. It was a great little
Fascinating.
chapter of my life.
Where are you originally from?
Colorado. That's why I talk like this. It's not an accent. I've just been a little stoned since I was like 15.
In the comedy, you worked with Ron Jeremy, and where were you? Was it Las Vegas?
I opened for Ron Jeremy in Vegas in January.
What was the
like last
venue?
show I
What
did.
venue was that?
The Sapphire Gentlemen's Club.
The Sapphires
Oh,
Gentlemen's
I've played
Club.
there before. I did with Sam Tripoli. I went there.
It was really great. It was my first time it was my first paid show. I was so excited. I forgot to get my check. They still have it.
I'm sure Ron kept it for you.
But no, it was a great show. I got off, and then they were like, "Oh, we want to have you back next month." And I got all these other bookings, and then COVID hit, and I was like, "Well,
damn.
that fucking sucks."
So did you handle your money? 100 movies? Did you put that in a reserve so you'll be okay? Will you go out and buy stuff like a lot of these people do?
You
And then they're broke.
And then they're back into porn.
You don't make that much money in porn. You don't.
Right.
It's a very like middle. I mean, the appeal of porn to me was less about making a ton of money, and it was more that like, okay, I have like when I was really working in porn, I only had to work 3 days a month to pay all my bills.
Jeez.
So it's like I got into porn. I wanted to write about it. So it's like I have all this time to write and do other stuff and figure out what I want to do. And so like I think it's really hard to make it in Hollywood if you don't have a trust fund. And I don't have a fucking trust fund.
I'm with you there.
Yeah. So, I don't know. The Kennedys weren't as generous to me as they were to some other family member.
Do they still call you and want you back? Do they try to lure you back in?
In porn?
Yes.
Not really right now because there's not a lot of shooting going on with COVID. So, I mean, they've said if I ever
So
want
you're
to come
just
back,
very
but-
uninhibited, huh?
Yeah, it never bothered me, and I liked sex. I was doing like really hardcore.
You'd be like maybe the person at the beach that when you shower after the beach, you would just not be so concerned.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't bother me. Like
how some women they want to put a towel around them and they want to make sure nobody sees their breasts or maybe the curve of their buttocks.
I mean, you can just Google it if you want.
They're just very. I don't want to say prudish because that's kind of an insult to call a woman prudish.
Yeah.
It's like you're on the earth to.
I was when I was younger. I fucking changed for gym class in the bathroom in high school.
So you
I
were
was super
inhibited.
shy, yeah.
Yeah.
And then something just clicked. I used to do
Did you see the movie Carrie?
Yeah, I've seen Carrie. Yeah.
Isn't that the greatest?
Yeah, it's great.
When the
Great movie.
when the blood comes down on her.
I wasn't
a whole
that
bucket of blood, cow blood or something.
Pig's blood.
Just pissed her
Yeah.
off. She just went into that rage.
Understandable, honestly. I'd be pretty mad.
And then remember when she was that time of the month and they said, stuff it up. Stuff it up. It's like they didn't have their own periods. Why are they taking it out on her? You don't bleed too, Mary and Karen and Debbie? Did you see that scene?
I saw the whole movie.
How many times do you come during that one?
Only during the blood scene.
Yeah,
Oh,
me too. Me
The
too.
only time I had
Got
anal.
back. All right, let's get to items of
Oh yeah,
interest.
this is one of my first shows at the Comedy Store. This is like I think this is like my
How come we
second
never
or
met
third
until the other
time.
night? Did we ever meet at the Comedy Store
I don't
before the
think
other
so.
night?
I would go and I would sit in the back and I'd be really quiet. I went like every night, but I would just sit in the back and watch.
Did anybody offer you sex for stage time?
No. I don't mean to brag, but I've been politely ignored by 4 out of the last 5 men to be Me Too'd in Hollywood.
Hey, I think that's great. I go
Yeah.
on 4 spots earlier now.
Did you ever try to go and kill Tony?
No, I haven't.
Keep
I would
'em
love to be
coming.
on Kill Tony at some point.
Keep it moving.
Keep me tuned, guys. That means I'll go on before midnight finally.
All right, we're going to do some items of interest. If you don't
Okay,
mind, you
yeah.
feel free to just jump in at any time if any of these things hit you. I usually start off with a good one. This is a story about somebody whose 2-year-old daughter was taken to Panama, and then the husband is an engineer on a ship, and he was going to pick them up and bring them back. But then they closed all the countries, and they were stranded for 5 months.
Oh, fuck.
So the kid is only 2. Little children are like puppies. They may forget who their mother is if they're not around. So they got the kid back finally, and the kid was like, and then he said, "Oh, mommy." So then she was happy that the kid registered that was the birth mother.
Well, that's a happy ending.
Yeah, I guess it's kind
I bet it was.
of. 1980s comic cult movie The Blues Brothers, which this week endorsed by the Vatican newspaper as a Catholic classic. The film's muddled plot involves the brothers' mission from God, efforts to raise money for a Catholic orphanage when they grew up. So that's great news for that film. That was a great movie.
Yeah,
Love
because
the
the Catholic Church really needs to be raising more money to take care of children.
I'm surprised
The
they didn't.
Catholic Church is the one who started the hospitals.
I know.
And molesting
A lot of
And
people.
molesting people.
A lot of people give the Catholic Church a hard time, but you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. What are we going to say, Redban?
Oh, I love the car chase scene in Blues Brother where they're going through the mall.
The mall.
What mall was that?
Oh.
Now that I live here, I don't even know.
I know this.
Was it the Mall of
actually.
America?
I think
Wasn't it
it's
that big
I think it was
Mall?
in Chicago.
No, I think it's Dixie Square
I think it
Mall.
was filmed in Chicago.
And I think it was. I wrote
Wasn't the
a
Beverly
senior
Center.
thesis on the life and death of the
Beverly
American Shopping
Center.
Mall.
They need to take that thing down. The Beverly Center. You feel like a rat running around in that place. Oh, it's a horrible mall. It's Beverly Center.
Well, most malls are going out of business now.
Oh yeah.
Like the
All
West Side Pavilion.
The big stores, the Sears and the J.C. Penney's, the circle in the drain, if not already down the drain.
I like that abandoned Sears on Santa Monica Boulevard. That's my favorite one. It's just crumbling.
Yeah, I love abandoned malls. Like I'm very addicted to. There's a lot of YouTube video pages of people breaking into malls that have closed and just walking around. It's so creepy. Like, looking at
It does. It looks like the apocalypse.
Yeah.
The apocalypse.
Well, I went into that West Side Pavilion one, which is where the Tom.
Yeah, this mall had already been closed for a while.
Oh, is that it?
It's in a small town, and yeah, I remember they moved all the production there, I think, and
People don't realize that's what America is. If you're not in a big major city in America, you are in a small town. That's all there is, are small towns.
Yep.
Do you want to live in a small town?
no, I
No,
lived in a
I
small
don't.
town.
I don't want to either. I want to be able to walk to 7-Eleven a couple of blocks away
and
at any
not see
time of the
anyone
night.
I know.
I don't want to drive 20 miles into town to get a candy bar or some lube.
What are you, an altar boy?
No, I guess I'm just getting off on this occupation.
If you're in a pinch, coconut oil works too.
Really?
Yeah.
It's coconut oil.
Or butter.
Oh, is that right? Butter's hard. You're gonna have
It
to.
won't be after a few minutes.
just spray. I can't believe it's not butter. Spray on it.
After the Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War video game will allow players to choose characters of any gender or no gender at all, or even have their gender remain classified. What is all this talk about gender?
I don't know, but
People
I think
don't
that's
want to be
what
boys
was-
or girls anymore. What is going on? Do you know, Kate? Can I call you Kate?
Yeah.
What is going on with this gender business? Do you know?
Well, I mean, it makes sense, though. Like, if you let transgendered people in the military, it's going to fuck with the opponent's heads. Like, you're going to see some fucking super soldier with, double D tits and a 9-inch dick. You're going to be like, I surrender.
What the F? What do you call it? What
I'm
the
good. Here's my badge number.
WTH? What?
What the F?
What the F? What the F?
You're going to surrender.
You're going to ask them if they want something to drink
Yeah.
and a neck pillow. All right, let's get back on. A pilot on American Airlines jet coming to land in Los Angeles, LAX airport radioed the control tower to report that we just passed a guy in a jetpack at 3,000 feet. The guy has not yet been identified. I know. I think it's probably Adam Eget.
He's hovering over the Laugh Factory.
He's flying south for the winter.
Oh yeah. Wow.
There he is. There's
is.
Adam.
Oh,
All right.
I don't want to go over here.
I got to get out of here. I'm sick of taking phone calls.
Yeah, he must have a hurt wrist,
Oh,
man.
my God. I've seen his emails he gets. It's brutal.
That's why I never call him, never talk to him. Really,
Oh,
I just don't bother him because I just know he's inundated.
Oh, it's emails, texts, DMs.
You were on that idiot on the television that Oprah Winfrey invention. What's his name? Dr. Drew.
Phil.
Dr. Drew? Yeah, I was on
Dr.
Dr.
Drew or Dr. Phil?
Dr. Drew.
Dr. Drew. You're thinking about Dr. Oz, but I was on Dr. Drew.
You were probably thinking of Dr.
Does he have a television show?
He has a podcast now.
I was on that too.
Yeah.
Dr. Mabogo.
It's a great way to go to therapy if you feel
He
like
takes himself a
therapy
little
would
serious.
be more fun in front of like 250,000 people on the internet.
Yeah.
Doc, he takes himself a little bit too serious, doesn't he, though?
He was very nice to me. He smells really good.
Yeah.
You know, people call up with sexual problems, and he's like, well, you know, come on, relax, Dr. Phil. Say, hey, take it. Let her have it. Jack it off or whip it out. You know, he takes it like he's talking about jet propulsion shit or something.
You're talking about Dr. Drew or Dr. Phil?
I think he's
Dr.
talking about...
That's Dr. Drew right here.
Yeah.
You're talking about Dr. Mabogo from the
Yeah, he
Addams
takes
Family.
himself a little bit too serious with his advice, you know?
I like Dr. Drew.
You know, he should loosen it up a little bit.
Yeah, tell me about it.
So when did you do this?
This was in January.
Look at him. Look at him. He's looking at you kind of like, you know, I've never seen him look like that. Have you? Look at the way he's looking at you.
He gives me the psychopath.
Look
vibes
at
in
him.
this
Look, he's
episode.
blushing. Look at him. Look at him. Yeah, he's made a career about talking about nothing, that guy. Jeez, he's like that guy with the stars. The guy who thinks he knows everything about the universe, writes books you can't even read.
Anthony Robbins?
No, the Tyson character.
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
He's a good mathematician, but he knows just as much about the universe as us four in this room right now.
Yeah.
He's just a mathematician. He's good at math, and he parlayed that into books, and I know everything about the solar system and black holes. You don't know shit. Ask him really what's up there. What's he going to say? Not a clue. But he's parlayed his whole career and big money on just total nonsense. No, it's true. It's nonsense. You know more probably about the solar system than he does. Charlatans, I call them. Charlatans.
I do really like theoretical physics.
You know
but
about
just for
that too?
funsies. Yeah, I took a
So
bunch
you
of
were really
class in
you were
college.
doing this adult actresses below your pay grade kind of. You know you're very intelligent.
Like I said, I didn't get into grad school, so I didn't really.
Oh, Redban's on it too.
Was the heat not working?
Did you
this
borrow
day?
that?
Yeah, I know.
You're wearing Jason Glen's jacket.
Glenn. I'm actually wearing the exact same jacket as Dr.
Dr.
Drew.
Drew.
It's very weird.
Very good.
I have that same jacket. In
Where
blue.
does he do his podcast from?
He does it from Your Mom's House Studios. You know Your Mom's House with Tom Segura?
Oh, I see.
Which is why I was on this, because I did Your Mom's
How
House.
many podcasts have you been on?
God, I don't know. 100 couple? I don't know.
100.
A lot. I started doing a lot of them. Like, it was before I started doing stand-up. I just started to get asked on podcasts, and then, like, it kind of, you know, once you know one or two people, it just... And then it got to a point where I was doing them all the time.
What's your opinion on the condoms in adult movie? You know, are you a proponent of condom wearing, or did you ever have to make a movie where they had to wear condoms? Remember they had
No.
that thing on the ballot?
Yeah.
The people in California, listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. They voted that the manufacturers of food didn't have to identify whether the food was organic or non-organic or what was in the food. They said, no, we don't care what's in the food. But we do care if the porno stars wear condoms. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that? That
Measure
was
B.
more important to these California people. You know, why would you care if the porn star wears condoms or not unless your daughter was doing that?
Yeah, I mean, it was
You know what I
backed
mean?
by it was backed by some like anti-porn. So basically, what happened with that when they were gonna pass it was that it was backed by a bunch of like anti-porn advocates, and it got to the point where the porn industry was like, all right, cool, fuck you guys, we'll pull out of the San Fernando Valley. We're the biggest industry in the San Fernando Valley. Like, we bring in billions of dollars a year in revenue. Fuck you, we'll go to Vegas. And so then they like pulled it all of a sudden. So it's why we don't have studios.
I remember that.
But it's basically a don't ask, don't tell with the LAPD. So like they kind of know where they shoot, but they're not supposed to be shooting condomless porn in California, but they do it anyway. So if you
what's your
actually look at the
opinion?
paperwork, it'll just say Los Angeles. We never write down like where we are.
So this was a group of people that were jealous and upset with porn. So they introduced these laws to wear condoms. Is that what he's saying?
There are people that just don't like porn, anti-porn.
So you don't have to watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
But where's the guy with the 14-inch dick get a condom from a trash
Just
bag?
put two magnums on.
Like,
What's crazy is that the porn people were like the safest people. Like they get tested every 30 days.
Every 2 weeks.
2
Yeah,
weeks.
they're like bar girls in Southeast Asia. They get tested every week.
yeah,
Yeah.
but some of those girls are dudes. So
Oh yeah,
they're-
lady boy, cha 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 cha, lady boy.
Hey, for a chick, you got a nice hog.
This one about Herman Cain.
999.
He died from
Pizza.
coronavirus. Okay, we're moving right along with the items of interest. Okay, this is about the fires. The August Complex, that's what they're calling these fires up north, which has burned 242,000 acres in the Mendocino National Forest, about 150 miles north of San Francisco. The state has witnessed 900 plus fires since August 15th, many of them ignited by sustained barrage of more than 14,000 lightning strikes.
Damn.
So don't ever say lightning won't strike twice, you stupid ass.
Yeah, it's like 14,000
1,000 times. And this is a photograph here of the air quality. That's the Bay Bridge, the Oakland, San Francisco Bay Bridge. And it looks apalapac. What's the word, Redban?
You make me not know how to say apocalypse.
It looks like apocalypse.
Not a lot of cars going to Oakland. Great city, Oakland.
I'm hearing some terrible things up there about San Francisco. The
Oh,
way
it's
that-
awful.
The way it's been used to be a big tourist town, but I don't know who's going there now. If there's poo all over the sidewalks,
I literally saw people shitting on the street. People
you actually
shooting
saw the
on-
feces coming
Yeah,
out of
like-
out of the bunghole.
in a nice area too.
Okay, but I've seen that in LA too.
Yeah, but you were on
You probably
set.
saw that on the set.
I was going to the gym, seeing some dude take a doo doo. Good job, Pelosi.
Wow. SFO. Look at this. Yeah, I went out and I saw that stuff on my car, and I just said, like a spoiled American, I said, not again. It's always something. It's just always something. Because there was a little ash on my car.
That sounded like Adam. Oh man.
Hurricane Laura cut a swath of destruction and misery across the southwestern part of the state last week, tearing apart a whole neighborhood and killing 14 people with 150-mile-per-hour winds. The Category 4 storm made landfall in the early morning hours on Thursday near that place.
In Texas?
All right. No, this is southwest part of Hurricane. It's someplace in America. Down south, back east.
That place.
Yeah, I don't want to go. I don't want to waste time.
Right.
There's so many questions I want to ask you. So you just said, you said I could do that probably better. And they
As
gave
far
you
as
a
porn?
shot the first time. How was it the first time?
Well, so I worked for this like hardcore BDSM company. So I started working for their sites and I started shooting their kind of. It was fucking awesome, dude. I had this job where I would just wear combat boots and like cargo pants, a fucking black baseball cap, and I would build these crazy bondage rigs to lock hot girls in the woods. It was so fucking awesome. I got paid shit, but it was like the best job I've ever had. And I started shooting for them because I did that kind of stuff in my personal life at that point. So I started doing like hardcore kink stuff, and that's most of what I did in my career. I did a lot of the softer stepmom, stepdad stuff, but I did a lot of kink.com, kind of bondage, rope. I got waterboarded one time.
And how did the being in the adult film industry affect your personal love life?
I mean, I didn't date.
Is it a plus or a minus, you think?
It depends. I don't think I would date anybody that was like not cool with the fact that that's something I did. But I didn't date the whole time I was in porn, and I still don't date now because I just am focusing on my career. I don't have any fucking time. I liked it because I got to have sex with people and I didn't really have to talk to them before or after. I really like that.
That's the best.
That's the fucking best. It's never gonna make us more attracted to each other.
Massage parlors need to open up again.
They have in my neighborhood.
Say that again. Say what you just said again, because I want to make sure
I really like to be like I'm terrible at dating. I fucking hate dating. I don't like talking. I'm awful in bars and like social situations. Like no one ever fucking hits on me in bars.
Me too. We have so much in common. Go ahead.
I just
Don't say me too.
and I liked having crazy fucking sex, and it was really fun, and I didn't have to talk to these people about it. They would just do it and then go away.
So you really well, that's why men like
Prostitutes.
Women, yeah,
because you can feel the feelings that we all like to feel without the extra baggage.
Yeah, for only $1,200 an hour.
You pay for them to leave.
Oh, you don't even have to know their name. I had a prostitute once. No, a friend of mine did. I didn't. I've never been with a prostitute. But
Yeah, right.
and so that's great. So you have to let people do whatever they want.
Yeah.
You know, I would be if my girlfriend was an adult film actress, I would think that would be just wonderful.
Yeah.
I would want you to come home with the smell of another man's penis
Right.
inside you.
That turns you on.
Yes, I think
Yeah.
that would be just
Just
fine.
lick it out.
You know, maybe you could take a couple of locks of his ball hair and bring it home to me, and I could mix it in my chicken soup. You know, I just think it would be okay. Yeah. What do you think, Redban?
I mean, I dated a few porn stars. And,
Are you going to say anything on this podcast?
And
but
Go ahead.
And I dated a lot of lesbian porn stars. That was a lot easier, you know, because the girl that I dated that was a hardcore kink girl, you know, sometimes you just forget and you start eating her ass out. You're like, wait a second. Did you clean this?
Who did you work with today?
Yeah. Why is it opening up like the Lincoln Tunnel?
I haven't heard you fought in about an hour and a half, and we've had beans. Just fascinating.
Well, like I knew a guy. He's a very famous drummer. He saw this girl's porn. He's like, I want to meet her, and he fell in love with her. But you know, she'd fuck all day and then come home, and he'd want to like,
Yeah.
and then she'd be like, I just want to cuddle, like. You know, does that happen a lot? Like when you're on a shoot, you come home to your boyfriend you love, and you just want to like watch TV.
I mean, I come home alone to my dog where I live by myself. So like I'm
Like
a very lonely person.
But if you did have a boyfriend, like I'm sure you don't want to fuck as soon as you get home when he might.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know. Like, I very much like put that out there as being something where I was just like, I didn't want to even go down that road, so I never did. So I didn't date anyone in porn.
Do you have a back door to your residence now?
Of course she does.
Okay, sorry.
What's her residence?
Fascinating.
But I would imagine, I know a lot of girls that do only like lesbian porn because they have a boyfriend. And like the guys are cool with that. And like I did briefly kind of date someone and he would only watch my like lesbian stuff.
Was it TT Boy?
No.
Tom Byron?
It was, no, you were Disney Channel.
Vince Foyer?
No.
Oh, Mr. Marcus?
So, is it true that there are a lot of lesbians in the adult film industry?
There's a lot of pretend lesbians in the porn industry.
What's a pretend lesbian?
A girl that is gay for pay that will do girl because it's a booking. You really can't not do
Say it
girl.
again. I'm confused. They're gay. Who are they fooling? What
They're
are they doing?
straight,
They're
but they
straight.
do.
but they do lesbian scenes.
Because don't guys, the only way they can make a decent living is if they do gay scenes, if
No,
they're straight?
that's not true at all.
So my bad.
That's like, no, it's a really common myth, but like honestly, the gay male side of the porn industry and the straight and like lesbian side of the porn industry are almost totally separate.
Yeah, they never mix. They never mix. I read a book about that by Hampson Wabel.
It goes back to the 90s when there was an HIV scare. That was like the last time there was a big HIV scare, and that's when they put into place all the testing protocol. And the gay side of the industry did not go along with that. Right. And so there was like this big schism, and they're still not back together.
Well, I saw that documentary on Showtime. I think it's called Ground Zero, and it's about Mark Wallace, who he had HIV, but he didn't tell anyone. So he gave it to 5 girls, and he had only worked with these girls one time. So they show you the scene in which these girls get HIV, and it's very
fucked up.
It's the scariest.
Yeah.
It's the most haunting documentary I've ever watched, because that's the scene they
What's
get.
it called again?
It's either Ground Zero or Patient Zero.
Patient Zero, I think, yeah.
And Mark Wallace to this day is in denial that he has it. So, it's a great feel-good story.
So did you ever have to shoot a movie with condoms?
No, I never shot a movie with condoms.
So it didn't affect you at all?
No, it didn't affect me at all. And I worked mostly with people that I knew and that I knew and trusted to be professional and safe. And
see, that shouldn't even got on the ballot.
Look up Mark Wallace.
That's what's so crazy about certain groups of people in this world, this America that we have. That should have never come on the ballot. A law that said that porno actresses and actors have to wear condoms while they engage in their profession.
Yeah.
That should have never been something that I have to vote on.
You
know what I mean?
It actually makes less sense for porn people to do it too, because when you use condoms, you can cause micro tears in the vaginal tissue, which actually leaves you more prone to infection. So if everyone's tested and you know that everyone's clean, then it's actually safer to not use a condom.
Have you ever seen a huge dick in a condom? I mean, the condom.
Not personally, no.
Well, I have.
I know you have.
Well, the condom
That's Big Earl.
I mean, the condom is stretched tighter than a Jewish accountant. It's not very appealing to see some baseball bat dick with this rubber on it. It's that's.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard for me to come.
So, what is? It's hard to believe. What is your most famous? The movie that anybody listening who they wanted to check you out in action. What would be the one that you would recommend?
I would recommend that one where I get gangbanged by the 3 priests.
And what was the title of that?
Evil Angels Ministry of Evil.
It's a long title.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's Evil Angel. It's on Evil Angel.
And where can they see that on their laptop?
Yeah,
or their
you
computer?
can see it at evilangel.com, and it's Ministry of Evil.
And just on the internet, you don't need to pay or no subscription.
I think you have to pay for a subscription to that site. You should just pay for your porn. It's labor.
You can probably just get it from Yoshi. He probably.
And tell us about the Pornhub connection. You get money if you appear on Pornhub connection?
I get 5% of the gross ad revenue for videos that I post on Pornhub.
Now, who was in charge of putting them on Pornhub?
I am.
So how's that working out? Are you getting any hits on that?
Yeah, I mean, they cut me a check every month. It's not a huge check, but it's kind of like residuals. I mean, I mostly do OnlyFans now, so that's the bulk of my income.
Did you ever do young girl on old guy?
Yeah, I did horny grandpas.
Yeah, I like that when I see the old guy. He's all wrinkly and
I loved
the
working
turkey
with the
neck
old guys.
And the big fat arms coming down and the bony legs and the long scrotum, and then he's with this beautiful hot young girl, and he's coughing, and you don't know whether he's coughing and he's sick or he's excited about the sex, and the little gray chest hairs and the sunken chest and the big bony shoulders, and you can even see ribs. And he's really old. You think he's 2 hours from the coffin, and he's having sex with this young, beautiful. That's pretty interesting. Was that a good shoot?
I always really liked working with the older guys because they're all happily married, and they're just very chill, and they know what they're there to do. It's great. I wouldn't describe them quite that way, but I also always worked with people that were much older than me. So
I guess it's that.
I worked with like one kid that was younger than me one time, and that was really fucking weird. He was like 18. I was like, you were born after 9/11. Like, you think about 9/11 the way that I think about like the Berlin Wall. Like, I feel really gross.
Man, you're funny.
Thank you. I was doing that as a bit last year, and it ended with me yelling, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear up this pussy."
Hilarious.
And I was so insistent on this bit, and nobody ever fucking got it, but I did it for like 6 months anyways because I loved it. Yeah.
We're having a hard time getting to the items of interest. Everybody wants to talk to you. Nobody wants to listen to these items of interest this week, but we'll try our best. Madrid is having problems. Heavily already suffered one of Europe's worst COVID-19 outbreaks. Spain is now in the midst of a soaring second wave of infection. In the past week, it had added more than 53,000 new cases, bringing the total number of infections to 471,000, and deaths to about 30,000. So problems in Madrid, Spain. Been overseas at all, traveling?
Yeah, I went to Ireland with my family for the summer one time. I'm also Canadian. Like, I have dual citizenship. My dad's Canadian.
Do you know what the most important invention in the history of mankind is?
What?
It's the wheelbarrow, because it enabled the Irishman to walk up on his hind legs. It's a stock joke. I have to use it whenever I meet somebody Irish. Sorry. Brandon, America, stay out of Canada.
Oh, you know what else
Go
happened
ahead.
today? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Today is
Go ahead.
actually also the start of the Irish potato famine.
Wow, yeah, we had that on items of interest at one time. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was something wrong with the potatoes, but the Irish didn't know enough to not eat them.
It's a fungus. It like liquefies them from the inside, so you can't eat them.
Yeah, and they kept
Yeah.
eating them, like the Irish would do. They just kept eating them, like those eggs in the bar and those big canisters.
Yeah. No, they're still really salty about it.
What do you mean they're salty about it?
I mean, like, if you go to Ireland, then they can ask them about it. They're like, fucking British
Did you like
people.
Ireland?
I loved it. It was great. They're so nice.
What do you like about it?
Oh, everyone was so super fucking nice.
Right.
Like, they love, especially Western Ireland, they, like, love Americans.
You didn't fall off any cliffs?
Didn't
Whenever
fall
you
off
see
any
Ireland,
cliffs.
it's always these grassy,
A lot of cliffs.
grass and cliffs, and you just I flew all the way over here for a 400-year-old pub and warm beer and a bunch of micks running around drunk off their ass and cliffs and but everybody loves it. They love it. You been there?
Yeah, I didn't like it. I got food poisoning also.
Yeah, you said,
there.
why
The
did I
food's
come
awful.
here? You could go to your park in your own hometown and be in Ireland.
It looks
get up-
exactly like Mendocino when it's not on fire.
Get on the park bench and fall off. I mean, I don't know. I guess you really got to like the Irish. And I don't dislike the
Yeah.
Irish.
I mean, I hope not, for me and Earl's sake.
Canada is cracking down on Americans who sneak across the border to take in the beauty Braniff National Park. Because of the pandemic, Americans are allowed to cross the border only to drive between Alaska and the lower 48 states, and they may not stop at any hotels or parks along the way. Kentucky resident John Pennington was seen at a hotel in Braniff in June, issued a $900 ticket in order to remain in his room until he departed the next day. But the next afternoon, police spotted his car at a local tourist attraction, and he was arrested. Canadian authorities announced last week that Pennington, who was escorted out of the country, could face a fine of up to $569,000 or 6 months in jail. Fucking Canada, give it a break. Bansky's got a boat. He's rescuing migrants in the Mediterranean. Google
Glad
it.
he's busy.
Google it if you want to hear any more about that. We don't really have time. We want to get back into the adult film industry. I know you do.
Oh, I love porn.
They say
The
men.
enthusiasm.
They say men get
What's the close-ups that gross me out?
the men-
Oh, me too. I fucking hate that.
Yeah, I don't
It's
like
disgusting.
the gynecologist reports. My
Like
brother Jay sends me photographs sometimes. It's like a gynecologist report. And I told him, I say, I'm going to block you. I can't take it.
No, it's just like high def, Blu-ray, 3D, and then the pussy looks like the thing Boba Fett fell into. Like, it's fucking nasty. Like, it looks like a pastrami sandwich blew up.
Nobody's genitals look good in 4K.
Well, not after a guy's 14-inch dong's been in there like, poking in and out.
Oh, there's the Bansky boat.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was an open mic. That's the Comedy Store patio on Mondays.
New Delhi's got a big problem, too. India's now grappling with one of the world's worst economic downturns and one of the fastest growing COVID-19 outbreaks. The Indian economy shrank by 24% last quarter. That's where Scott Day is now. I got a call from Scott Day while you were not here.
Who's Scott Day?
He used to be the talent coordinator at the Comedy Store, the first talent coordinator that I worked with. He's in India now. He travels all over the world.
Is he booking Tanya Lee Davis and
I don't know.
Jackie Diamond?
Brad Pitt's new girlfriend, model Nicole Polonsky, is in an open marriage with a well-known German
Businessman.
restaurant owner. So-and-so said. Pitt, 56, and the Polish-born Polonsky, 27, vacationed last month. Get this. Listen to this. They vacationed last month at the south of France estate. Pitt and his ex-wife, Jolie, purchased in 2011 for $67 million.
I took her to his ex-wife's place.
That's just the house that they bought. $67 million. I mean, the money these movie stars
You
make.
gonna take her to Sizzler?
Oh my God. He's in this $65 million estate, and he is just cracking her open like a walnut.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what do you do when you take a woman like that to a $67 million estate in the south of France?
Whatever you want.
Shit.
I think that's how.
She kind of looks like Steven Tyler.
Honestly, like Brad Pitt could probably.
Going down in an elevator.
That was off their album Permanent Vacation.
That's the second time someone sung that song to me in the last 24 hours.
The new couple met last summer when Pitt dined at the exclusive Berlin restaurant owned by the husband, Roland. Mary, 68. So he's 68 years old. He figures he can't keep this woman satisfied, so he's excited to have his wife have sex with a movie star, I guess. It's his fourth wife. They've been married for 8 years and have a 7-year-old son. And he said it's psychological about his wife's new boyfriend. He's philosophical about his wife's new boyfriend. So this is a real open-minded guy, a great cook and an open-minded guy.
Sounds like a keeper.
68 years old. He doesn't mind his wife shagging movie star ass. Jesus, man.
What a guy.
$67 million. What is the mortgage on that? What's your monthly payment on that?
Pretty sure you don't have a mortgage.
Yeah, I think it's a cash-based
think anyone-
transaction.
Just to reduce your taxes, maybe, huh?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Tell us about that. We talked about that last week.
Taxes?
You know how the rich people buy art. They think they're sophisticated. They fill their houses with art. It's just to get a tax break, right? They don't know nothing about art. Say it. Agree with me.
Yeah.
Yes, me to death.
I buy my art at the Goodwill on Hollywood Boulevard, so I really don't know. I think.
Well, you're not going to get any tax credit for that.
No.
There was an article here about this Paris Hilton, but I wouldn't want to waste my time with her. Everybody knows now she's at an age where she's trying to say she was abused at a school that they sent her to, and that's why she acted like such a jackass. Anyway, so we're going to read about the Karate Kid. What's his name?
Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio has to be careful about eating in Japanese restaurants, said so-and-so and so-and-so. If there's a fly is buzzing, he has 9 seconds to get out before he's asked to kill it with a chopstick. Is that a scene from the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one.
Mm-hmm.
And
I sat next to him at a hockey game once. It was kind of
it's a testament to the enduring appeal of the movie The Karate Kid that made him famous in 1984 at age 22. After the movie, how old were you when you started doing that, taking your clothes off for money?
23.
Wow, that's young. That's nice. That's innocent. That's great.
Thanks.
After the movie,
It's actually pretty old in porn years.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
but
when
you got to be 18 or else you go to jail, right?
Yeah, you gotta be 18, but a lot of girls start when they're 18.
Tracy Lords wasn't. She was 16.
Yeah.
That's the only one I know by heart. Is
Not
Tracy
me.
Lords.
There's Seika. There's Christy Canyon.
Christy Canyon is really sweet.
She's like the De Niro of female porn.
She really
Big, huge tits.
great attitude too. Terrible speller. Her
Well,
tweets
So
are always
am I.
misspelled.
So am I. Why, you know how to spell?
Yeah, I'm a pretty decent speller.
Yeah, but all those loads she took in the eye probably fucked her vision up.
I love people that know how to spell.
Thanks.
I bet you do.
So well, yeah, this Karate Kid nonsense. After the movie, he returned to his parents in Long Island and married his childhood sweetheart at 26. He's been a suburban dad for two since, doing little acting aside from several sequels. If I've been trying to grab that gold ring, the brass ring. You mean the brass ring. He means the brass ring. It's not the gold ring. It's the brass ring. Every chance, he said, maybe I would have had more jobs, but I couldn't get to them because I was watching a baseball game back in my hometown. Yeah, he was relaxing. He was enjoying life.
He wanted to live in a
This
small
show
town.
business thing is a hard wheel to be on.
Well, especially if you're like him, like any audition you go in on, it's like, oh,
Pigeonholed.
you're the Karate Kid. Wait,
Right.
We don't want people saying that in this movie.
But I couldn't get to them because I was watching a baseball game back in my hometown. He does not regret pursuing a bigger Hollywood career. Maybe my caution helped me to stay grounded. Are you grounded, Kate? I think you're pretty grounded.
I'm pretty
Pretty
grounded.
intelligent, too.
Thank you.
A lot of the adult actresses and actors have a reputation for being not the smartest tool in the tool shed.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Well, they've had a rough upbringing, some of them.
You know what? You say that, but like the comics I know are so much more fucked up than any porn star I've ever met.
Well, the latest news on the comics would prove that to be quite correct.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
you know,
your lives are way, way worse than all of those, and more of you were molested.
Keep it in your pants. It's so like, you
Well,
know,
evidently they cannot. And they have to
Well,
show everybody.
they gotta-
They just can't wait to show everybody their penis.
they get a hard on driving by a gymboree.
You know, my mom used to try to dress me at Gymboree till I was like 15. She like just really thinks it's cute, and she'd be like, and I was small, so we'd walk past at the mall. She'd be like, I think that'll fit. Just try it. Like I'm getting my driver's license.
Let me see your other hand. You don't wear any jewelry too. I think that's real sexy when you don't have any of those.
Thank you.
A lot of women, they put on a lot of metal products, and you know, and especially if you're at the airport, it's just a big problem. You know.
Yeah, no, I breezed right through security.
Although this is a good series, Cobra Kai. I watched
Yeah,
it.
it's amazing.
Is that him?
Yeah. That's him. That's the original bad guy.
Yeah.
And they've turned it around now where he's kind of the dick and he's
Yeah.
like the guy you...
So he's working again then.
Comedy Store paid regular, Brett Ernst.
Yep.
All right, Brett. Oh, I like Brett. He's very good. He moved.
Yeah.
He moved to Wisconsin or something.
Something like that. Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Shout out to Brett Ernst. Hey, buddy. Way to go. So we're back with this because I was watching a baseball game back in my hometown. He doesn't regret not putting a bigger Hollywood career, pursuing a bigger Hollywood career, but my caution helped me to stay grounded, so I'm at peace with the choices I made. He's also at peace with the character that has followed him so closely, even naming his son Daniel after Daniel LaRusso, the Karate Kid character.
Oh, it's cute.
That was a chunk of time when my son was like, "Did you have to do that?" But now he's proud of it. Unlike Ralph Daniel, he's a classic. It never goes out of style, you know. I know that actor from Scarface. Check it out.
Angel Salazar.
I know him. He lives in New York City now. There's special agents just for special people who've been in special movies. And he, you know, that's the way to go. Just to be in a movie that showed all over the world continuously. He was in Scarface. And I was told that Al Pacino heard him, and that's where he got his character.
Which kind of fucked him in the movie because they couldn't have two guys talking the same.
Exactly.
So they took out a lot of Angel Salazar's lines.
Is that right?
Yeah, so if you notice, he literally has like maybe 5 lines. Hey, you got the job, Ernie.
Right.
I'd
Yeah.
rather be Ernie, the fat guy, you know. Remember Ernie?
Oh, yeah, he was sweating. He was going to
Yeah.
get killed.
That's a good gig. He literally had one line when they said, "Hey, man, you want a job?" He's like, "Sure." tell
And
me."
they had that great actor, the cop, the dirty cop. That was one of the coolest scenes. He said, you know, you can't shoot me. I'm a cop. And you know what he did, Kate?
You shot him.
Shot him.
Yeah.
I have a one-way ticket to the resurrection, Mel.
Oh, man, that was a great movie.
When Stephen Bauer was in it.
Do you want to play rough? Okay. Say hello to my little friend.
I wonder how many times they had, how many takes that was. That was great. You know, that was evidently one take that time. But with him saying that, I wonder how many times he got before he got it right. That was great. And he was a likable character in the jacuzzi and everything. They just the way they just made it work. Another great, one of my favorite scenes. You'll love this. Have you seen Jackie Brown?
No.
Not
Oh, you
Layla.
got to see Jackie Brown.
Great.
A woman,
Sleeper.
a woman just like you, beautiful. She's in the parking lot with Robert De Niro, and he's an ex-con, and they're just picking up the money, and she's bothering him, and he tells her to shut up, and she keeps talking and bothering him. Hey, you lost your car. You don't know where your car's parked. What do you do? He says, shut up. He said, you don't know where you saw it, right?
It's been a hot minute.
Oh, you don't know where your car is. You don't know what's going on. You're really an idiot, aren't you? She said, shut up. And she stalked again, and he shot her in the chest right in the parking lot in the mall.
That does sound like something that happened
Twice. You saw that movie. Jackie Brown, very good. Another Clinton. What's his
I
name?
used to see this guy every day walking my
to me.
dog.
It's like Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, another one of his movies.
Yeah.
That guy's a movie. That's who gets shot right there. That little girl. And he plays a great convict. You saw this movie?
Yeah.
There she is. Not as beautiful as you.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, man.
Won't be in here no more than 10 minutes.
Man, I ain't riding no trunks for no minute.
Wow.
It's one of those movies when it came out, I didn't appreciate it because I was so pumped up about Pulp Fiction at the time. I was like, it's not as good as Pulp Fiction, and blah, blah, blah. But then I rewatched it a couple of years ago. I was like, holy shit, this was way better than I remember.
There's a good porn called Pulp Friction. That was pretty good.
So that's him. That's his life, the Karate Kid. There's one here about the First Lady, Trump, not getting along with Trump's daughter, Ivanka. We're not going to go into that. We talked about Brad Pitt and his young married girlfriend. He's got a lot of balls. Of all the women in the world, he's got to have sex with a married woman.
I mean, if you can
I
have
guess when you're a
anybody,
movie star, you just do that, huh?
You want what you don't have, you know.
guess.
Like he gets
Maybe he gets excited when he has someone else's stuff.
I'm sure he does.
Maybe that's part of the excitement. You
welcome
think?
to comedy.
You think that's what it is, Kate?
Get him into LA comedy.
Beloved 150-pound runaway pet turtle had been reunited with its owners after traveling an eighth of a mile during his 74 days on the loose. Lynn Cole said it was still a mystery how this massive, slow-moving turtle named Solomon managed to elude her after innumerable searches and the hanging of signs all around her Tennessee town of Ashland City. I guess we will never know the full details of Solomon's great adventure, she said, adding, it's very happy to be home. And I don't know why I read that one.
It's a miracle that you couldn't catch a fucking
Is that
turtle.
Is that it?
That's not him, but it's just, Burbank, I live in Burbank, and every day there's another thing on this app called Nextdoor, which is a bunch of neighbors, and it's just a bunch of everyone has pet tortoises in the backs, like tons of them. Like I'd probably say 20 different people around me have one of these turtles that big, and they're always getting loose. They're always just somehow escaping. It's ridiculous.
Those are the ones you see on that Galapagos Islands. Yeah, I don't know if I'd want that. It looks prehistoric.
I want one.
I think it would be great to have one. I think it'd be
Really? You got to feed them, and then you...
All you do is put like lettuce in your backyard.
Yeah.
My great aunt had one. They just chill.
Look
that
at him. I
big,
think
or
he's
just
going
like-
to the bathroom.
wasn't that big.
Oh, he's taking a poo. It looks...
That's
Is that his
dick.
tail?
That's his dick.
Oh, no. Jeez. You don't have to look at this cake.
Are you kidding me? After what she's
I've
seen,
seen
that
worse.
she's going to be unnerved by this.
So, that's funny. What's one of the... Give us one of the things that sticks out in you after 100 movies. Give us a great story, one thing that made you laugh, or something that was... It must have been at least one story that just you can always remember. I know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. I did a Bound Gangbangs for Kink.com last summer.
Say it again.
Bound Gangbangs. You can find it at boundgangbangs.com.
Yeah.
Okay. Pool table?
No pool table.
I can't watch a gangbang without a pool table. I don't know
I've had
what
sex
it
on a
is.
pool table, but not on a porno. It was just my parents' basement. I wasn't allowed to play pool after that.
Did you get caught?
I know I scuffed the felt. My dad was mad about it.
Oh, your dad seems like a great
Yeah,
guy.
he's an excellent guy. No, last summer I did Bound Gangbangs for Kink.com, and it was last minute. I woke up at like 7 o'clock in the morning. I got a call from my agent. He's like, "Hey, can you do a 5-guy anal gangbang in an hour in downtown LA?" I was like, "It's how much money?" I was like, "I'll fucking be there."
You don't have to worry about what you're going to wear, right?
No, actually, you really don't. For kink, you don't.
You just grab your purse and go.
What is
Yeah.
something like that? I'm not asking what you made specifically, but
Yeah.
what is that 5-guy anal gangbang? What's the rate?
It's like that was like 2,500.
Jesus,
Yeah.
I'd bend over.
Yeah, right. Like
$2,500 for like
$500.
That's your month rent, your
Yeah.
car payment, and some
Yeah.
groceries. Maybe a pack of smokes for some people. $2,500 will hold them out for a
so
whole
I go
long time.
down there, but I had my buddy works security at the Roxy, and they were doing Goddamn Comedy Jam that night, and it was Jim Jeffries, and so I had seats to go see Jim Jeffries that night. And I was like there, and I was like, hey, like I just want to like be clear, I have a thing later. Like we'll definitely be wrapped up by then. And I kind of said like, oh yeah, I'm going to this. And one of the guys, a couple of them actually were like, wait, like we like Jim Jeffries. Can we go to that? I was like, sure. So then like me and a couple of the dudes from my gangbang all went into Goddamn Comedy Jam afterwards.
Wow.
It was really fun.
Jeez. I wish I was in that movie.
I bet you do.
A dozen of Secret Service agents assigned to the president and vice president have been sickened by the coronavirus and quarantined because of direct contact with infected people. The agents have been called to work at large gatherings where few masks are worn and social distancing is not observed. A Confederate memorial that stood on the courthouse lawn in Lake Charles, Louisiana for 105 years was toppled by Hurricane Laura. Historic winds 2 weeks after local authorities voted not to remove it. So, Mother Nature removed it. You like Katy Perry?
I don't really have an opinion.
Such a rant.
Great tits.
She's got a new album called Smile, and she's married now, and I don't think she's got it. I think she's lost it. She's lost that spark.
That's too bad. What happens?
According to this, it's now becoming clear that Katy Perry's brand of rhythmic electric pop will never quite go out of style, but will also never quite be totally back in style again.
Well, her fans got older. Like
Yeah.
happens to a lot of people of that
So
genre.
and so and so and so, the ex-megastar's latest album presents as a hoped-for return to form after 2017's Witness has failed bid at seriousness. But 10 years after Teenage Dream sent a record tying 5 singles to number 1, her new attempts at empowerment, anthems, and cheeky hedonism plainly sound exhausted. So she's spent. She's spent. This is what this is saying. She's spent. They're just trying to throw shit against the wall. Maybe something will stick. But she's spent. That's what they're saying here.
I'm sure she can cry into her millions of dollars
Yeah, I'm
in
sure
whipped
she's
cream
fine.
cans. I like to imagine she has an entire
At
fridge
best,
just for
at
cans of
best,
whipped cream.
Smile shows the happily married 35-year-old not quite succeeding in locating a grown-up pop persona. Surprisingly, the most deeply felt material on Smile has devotional quality about it. What is they saying? But the rest, including various singles that were released in recent months and flopped, are better than the chart failures indicate. This is, see, they don't like this. They say bad stuff and then they say good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you're saying it flops, but this YouTube video has 19 million views, so it's.
Yeah, she's not
How do you
doing-
call that a flop?
She's not doing too bad. All I'm asking of Katy Perry's song is for it to make me feel marginally happier than I did 3.5 minutes prior. There are a handful of songs on Smile that do the trick. So they threw her under the bus, and then they lifted her up and brushed her off and said she's okay.
I think it's fine. Yeah, I think it does exactly what's supposed to be. Make
That's
you
why
feel
I
happy.
respect Madonna so much.
Oh.
God, to say that, to stay that relevant.
Relevant.
See, I-
So many years.
I don't think she's relevant now, though. I don't.
She's still selling out arenas, doesn't
Is she?
Not really.
No, is she on the wane too? Is she spent?
Or she's
I mean,
very old.
She's a little weathered. But she's 60. Like, she should be.
No, this is for Redban and anybody else.
Voice of an angel in the arms of Gollum.
This is what I was talking about earlier. This is it's difficult to describe how amazing it feels to jump into a plane and have the freedom to fly to literally any place in the world, said so and so and so and so. That's what the latest version of Microsoft Flight Simulator enables you to do. Not with a view that's just primitive approximation. This legitimately incredible game, relatively faithful, recreates every corner of our planet by drawing on 2 petabytes. That's 2,000 terabytes
Well, I thought you said pedophiles.
of satellite and high altitude imagery. If you want to fly over your house, it's there. Since the PC game came out in mid-August, I've flown places I've never been in my life, circling the pyramids and all this other stuff. So this sounds like a great thing. Let's talk about this for a minute, Redban.
Oh yeah, check out. It actually uses maps from Google Maps, so it's using real map data combined with making a flight simulator, and it is so amazing. I sit there and just watch people play this for hours. How accurate it is, and it's really cool. And they're about to release next month a virtual reality update to it so that you could actually be in virtual reality so it feels like you are in the cockpit.
And you can pick whatever aircraft you want.
Whatever aircraft you want has almost, I think, every airport in the world you can go to. And it's based off real imagery, so it's like the airports look like the airport they're supposed to be.
So how much would it cost for me to get this, to be able to do this at home?
Well, this is definitely, you need a higher end PC. You could probably, the problem is you need a you need a PC. You don't need you can't use a Mac computer. So
I have a Chrome.
Chromebook, it would definitely not work. No.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Chromebooks are pretty much just like iPhones with screens.
So what do I have to buy to do this at home? I think, because I love to travel, you know?
Yeah.
I would probably say you could probably get away with like a computer about $800 to $1,000. That would be like low end, but you would be able to play it.
So just say briefly, I don't want to take too much time. What would I need to buy?
You would need a PC with a good graphics card.
A personal computer, not
yeah.
a laptop?
Right. And I just read today, though, that Gateway Computers are coming out with new computers. They've been kind of missing for a while, and they're about to release some new computers at Walmart that have like really good graphics cards and pretty good processors in them. So for cheap. So if you'd want a computer that can play this, let me know, and I'll send you some links of different laptops that would work.
And then can I hook that magic wire up to my computer and then into my TV?
HDMI cable, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is something that I'm interested in. You know, I'd rather do this than, shoot enemy soldiers or something like that.
But you can also try and fly into the Twin Towers.
No, but they have airports that are real tricky. LaGuardia is a tricky airport. It's really...
Can you hit things?
And the one in Aspen is real tricky, too. Some airports are real tricky. I mean, you got to really be, they're just tricky is what I can tell you.
Well, there's that one in São Paulo, Brazil, where it's...
You have to go straight up.
It's literally like the runway is in the mountains, so you have to do it almost a drop. And
then there's one at the beach, where the people on the beach have to duck their heads because it goes right. You've seen that one on the beach. I forget where that
Denver's
one is.
like that also, isn't it? Like where anytime you fly into Denver, it's always a little bit sketchy because of
the mountains.
Yeah. Also, the runways at Denver are laid out like a swastika.
And somebody told me, my friend told me he bought a Mac desktop
iMac.
computer work?
iMac.
My friend said Ray Dawson, he got one on Amazon for like $1,300.
Oh yeah, I mean iMacs are really great computers. They're very inexpensive. They just released a new one that's pretty awesome. But the problem is you have to really if you're going to play games like this, you're going to need a PC, not a Mac. But for everything else, I would recommend a Mac for you.
Man, do you like that cake? You like to travel, don't you?
Yeah, I do. It's pretty cool. I flew a plane once. It was exciting. I was scared shitless.
A little plane like that?
Yeah, like a little 52 Mooney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was, my brother Jay used to work at the place who fixes the corporate jets. And we flew from Long Island all the way to Burbank one time on the corporate jet. And they threw us out. And then we went and visited some relatives. And then they said, we're going back. And they said, be at the airport. And we jumped back on that sucker. It was Warner Brothers jet, the G2. And we flew back to Long Island. And, of course, he told some people at work where he worked. And they stopped that. People are always ruining it for other people. You know, why is he getting to do that? But he was friendly with the pilots. And they said, we're going out there empty. You want to go? So my grandmother and I and my brother Jay, we flew out to Burbank on one of those Brad Pitt type airplanes where he's smacking the kids around.
Yeah, this was like a little like 2-seater, like very old. It was my dad's buddies, and we flew from Austin out to Port Aransas.
Turbulence. Yeah.
Out on the Gulf. Yeah, it was fun.
Wow, almost we're coming up to the end of Dead Air. I can't believe it. We haven't even gotten. Anyway, yeah, I wanted to read that for Redban for sure, and tell us some more stories about the
More stories?
Well, I don't know. Whatever you want to tell us. You got a lot of things to say. You're very intelligent.
Thank you.
Know a lot about a lot of things.
Can I pee real fast while she tells a story?
Oh yeah.
Earl's heard all my stories.
No,
He's not
I want to
interested.
hear it.
So
No, I just
you were
wanna
20
pee.
minutes late. Now you want to get up and go to the bathroom? No problem.
Well, no, I figure I could take a break.
No, it's okay.
Let's
Yeah,
go
it's
pee.
2 hours.
I'm
No problem.
I'm 52. Come on.
You
Water
might
good.
maybe go in for an extra prostate exam.
Yeah. No, I'm good on it. I don't like the guys.
Okay. Somebody's coming out with an electric car. It's
Oh, I did. I do have a good virtual reality story.
Go ahead,
Because
let's
the
hear it.
I actually was nominated for Best Virtual Reality Sex Scene at the AVN Awards last year.
No shit.
Yeah, I did not win. But I got nominated for, it's a Archie Comics parody. I was Betty. And there's
No,
another girl,
wow.
Veronica. Yeah, it was fun.
I've tried the virtual reality porn. I don't know. It's just not there yet. I think it's very close, but
I love making it because it's really, so it's like, it looks like the thing that you go to at the eye doctor where they like pull it down in front of you. That's what it looks like. And there's the 2 cameras and then there's a dot in the middle and you have to focus on that dot. Like that's the guy when you're talking to him. So you're like, you can't actually see the guy you're fucking at all because he's laying down behind the camera. So you're just talking like into this dot. And then sometimes you have to go up because the mics are on the side. And so you have to go up and like, they like it when you whisper. So you'll be like, do you like that, baby? How you like that?
yeah.
And like, it's so weird because you're just talking to like an optometry device.
Do you actually have sex under virtual?
Yeah, you do, but you can't see the guy at all because he's like behind the camera. So you can just see his dick and his legs. It's really hard because you have to be able to take his pants off without him helping. So you have to kind of like get your hands under his ass and like pop him up and then pull really fast. It takes practice.
Do you have virtual reality? Do you play it?
No, I don't. I wanted one just so that when I was on airplanes, I could put it on and like watch
Right.
my phone and no one would talk to
Yes,
me.
yes.
That appealed
That's
to me
actually
about
really
it.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is how does the guy has to stay erect the whole time?
Yeah.
What are they they're great concentrators? How does that happen?
Yeah.
Did they ever not? Did they fall off?
Oh, yeah.
And then
Oh,
what
yeah.
happens? How do? You got to take a break? What happens?
Yeah, sometimes we have to take a break so they can get it back up. Like, I mean, I'm pretty fucking helpful. I will help to an extent if there's
Yeah,
something
you do
that
it because
really,
you want to get out of there.
yeah,
The quicker
really
you get it
knocks your
done,
socks off. But
you
I've,
can go home.
I've had days where like it just kept happening, and I just looked at the guy. I was like, "Dude, take a fucking Viagra and get your shit together, because this is not,
not
like this is
working.
not my problem. My jaw fucking hurts. I want some
It'd
water.
be
I need to
like
check my
somebody
phone.
shooting a scene in a movie who was having trouble with their lines.
They also have trouble with their lines. Nobody ever fucking
People
knows
get
their
frustrated.
lines.
Wait, there are lines in porn?
Yeah, there's lines. A lot of it's improv, but like there are scripts and no one ever reads it. So the dialogue, the sex takes maximum 40 minutes, maybe, right? The dialogue takes like 2 or 3 fucking hours.
Does anybody give you a hard time when they treat you differently when they find out that you're an adult actress?
Not really. I mean, sometimes people like have their assumptions, but I also don't like really look like an adult actress or speak the way that you think one would. So I don't really.
No, you're very well spoken.
Thank you. The only time I ever got recognized actually was in my hometown last fall for an antique fair with my parents.
And that's Colorado?
Yeah, it's like a small town in Colorado.
And how did that encounter go? That must have been quite uncomfortable.
I was like walking across this event hall to go to the bathroom, and this guy like looks at me like he's just seen a fucking ghost, and he goes, because why the fuck would I be here in this small town in Colorado at an antique fair? Like, of all the places he's gonna see me. And I just looked at him and I was like, thank you very much, but I'm here with my family. I appreciate
Oh,
your
that's
support.
nice. And he was
Please look me
nice.
up on Pornhub. And he's like, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we
That's really
talked
funny.
about that last week about people, movie stars and famous people being uncomfortable with their fame. people are going to get excited when they see you.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get excited when they see you.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do like feature dance shows where I would get to travel around the U.S. and like go do a show at a strip club and then do meet and greets. And yeah, a lot of them have a really personal relationship with you. It's an interesting like phenomenon for sure. The relationship, especially with like porn and porn fans.
Some people are just not mature about it, you know?
Yeah.
Just be mature about it.
Mine have always been good. I have good fans. I like my fans.
How to store ice cream. A lot of people get the freezer burn on the ice cream. Freezer burn occurs as moisture in food evaporates and refreezes on the food surface. To prevent ice crystals from forming, set the freezer's temperature below 0 or just choose the coldest setting. Store pint containers upside down after opening them. That way the melted ice cream on top will drip onto the lid rather than refreeze as a layer of ice crystals.
I think this kind of presupposes that you don't finish the entire pint of ice cream.
Who are these people that are not finishing their pints? Get out of here.
I know. Old people, you know. Mm-hmm. My grandmother used to be like that at parties. You cut her a piece of cake. Oh, no, that's too big. That's too big. That's too big.
Oh, my mother's like that. We never let her cut anything.
That's too big. Live a little. Eat the ice cream, yeah. The back wall of the freezer far away, the ever-opening door is generally the coldest spot to be in. Wrap it up. This is kind of nutty. To crush freezer burn, flatten plastic wrap or paper against the surface of the ice cream before replacing the lid. Then put the container in a zip-top bag. This keeps air from reaching the ice cream.
Jesus Christ.
And and another trick, serving the ice cream by cutting through the pint with a serrated knife, then wrapping the top before storing. Yeah, this is like a Martha Stewart bullshit, that last one. No one's going to that much trouble unless they're just totally out of their minds. This is a good one. 3 biggest airlines eliminated the $200 change fee on domestic tickets. Said so-and-so and so-and-so. So they're all going to do it, and it's going to be a permanent thing. No more change fees.
That's cool.
Well, no one's flying anymore, so they have to get people back somehow.
Well, nobody wants to go anywhere. Yeah, I can't go anywhere. I don't know. All right. And the last one. This is the wisdom part. Some of them we understand, some of them we don't. We're pretty good. You ready for this, Earl?
Oh, yeah, man.
Aging is an extraordinary process where you become the person you always should have been. David Bowie. Baseball is like church. Many attend, but few understand. Leo DeRocher. Never offend an enemy in a small way. Gore Vidal. I read a couple of his books. He's pretty funny. The only time a woman really succeeds in changing a man is when he's a baby. Natalie Wood.
I like that one.
That's a good one.
1,000,000 to 1 chances crop up 9 times out of 10. I don't know about that one. There is no story of brutality that has not been retold as one of heroism.
I agree with that.
What do you mean? What does that mean? Do you want to comment on that?
Well, yeah, because history is written by the victor. So, typically there's brutalism on both sides, but we tend to downplay the shitty things we do to other people. Most of us. Not maybe people in this room, but...
Democracy is the process by which people choose the man who will get the blame. And that's it. That's the items of interest for this week. Thanks, guys, for participating in them. I hope you got a good... Did you like items of interest, Kate?
I did.
You think it's a nice segment?
Yeah, I think it's a nice segment. Yeah. I learned a lot. That ice cream thing.
I got some letters. I don't think I'll get to my letters.
You're in the Air Force, right?
These are short letters. Do we have time for short letters, Redban?
Sure.
And I got 10 questions, too. Got 10 questions. All right, let's do some letters here first. This is Air Force letters.
Do you know the Air Force Academy is in Colorado because Eisenhower...
Colorado Springs.
Yeah, because Eisenhower liked to golf there at the Broadmoor. And that's why he lobbied to put it in Colorado Springs so he could go golfing while he was supervising the construction.
Say it again.
They wanted to put it inland because Annapolis and West Point were already on the coast, and so they needed an Air Force Academy. And Eisenhower really liked to golf at the Broadmoor, which is in Colorado Springs, and so he lobbied to put it there so that he could go golfing while he was overseeing the construction. Yeah.
Wonderful. Mm-hmm. This is a letter from the United States Air Force, 18 March 1985. After considering all the facts, it is my recommendation that Sergeant Holtzman be denied re-enlistment. The manner in which he conducts himself during his off-duty is not in conformance with the standards of set for Air Force personnel. On 16 June 1984, Sergeant Holtzman was detained by the security police at Gwangju Air Force Base, Korea, for drunk and disorderly. During the questioning, he became very belligerent and uncooperative with the security police. Again, on December 10, 1984, Sergeant Holtzman was detained for drunk and disorderly, and again, he became belligerent and uncooperative. As stated above, Sergeant Holtzman does not present the image deemed of today's Air Force personnel and should not be allowed to remain past his present separation date.
For sure.
Every week.
And this is, so I appealed it, of course. I appealed it. And I won the appeal. It says, Sergeant Holtzman, this is, what date is this one? Who knows? It says, although Sergeant Holtzman had some problems in the past with off-duty conduct, his records indicate that he is an excellent technician. He is projected to separate from the Air Force on 2 May 85 and plans to pursue a civilian career in avionics. Non-selection and re-enlistment could adversely affect his future civilian career. After a thorough review of Sergeant Holtzman's squadron personal file, it does not appear that he warrants non-selection for re-enlistment. Recommendation: approve Sergeant's roll appeal by initiating and signing the appropriate blocks. Okay, so they failed. They failed to stop me from doing what I wanted to do.
Did it affect your future civilian career?
Nothing. Nothing did. The only thing that affected me was when they ran out of Slurpee cups at the 7-Eleven where I used to live. Ruined my whole day. Yeah. All right, we're going to finish up with 10 questions. You don't mind?
Not at all.
Were you asked 10 questions last time you were on?
I don't believe we did.
All right, so I'll start with you then, if you don't mind.
No, go for it.
10 questions for Earl. Number 1, if you were a famous rock star, who would you want to be? Freddie Mercury, Liberace, Elton John, or George Michael?
Can we get one straight guy?
You can decline to answer as well.
No. Well, my friend who I went to grade school with was the cop who arrested George Michael in the bathroom
in Beverly Hills,
yeah.
Across the street from the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Marcelo Rodriguez. So I'll go with George Michael because he had some women.
Number 2, have you ever been attracted to your mother?
She had nice tits, but no.
Number 3, have you ever been attracted to somebody else's mother?
Oh yeah, of course.
In Beverly Hills, that's pretty that's pretty common.
Get those big-titted housewife moms, the bologna pancake nips.
Number 4, are you difficult to work with?
I don't think so.
Number 5.
You were 20 minutes late.
Right, I was. What am I supposed to fly here on my fucking Jetsons car?
Someone had a jetpack. It was on the TV.
He's at the airport.
Number 5, if you were a dog, what breed would you be?
A pit bull.
All right. Number 6, do you hate your mother?
No, I love her.
Do you hate anybody else's mother that you... No. Number 7, have you ever walked out without paying at a restaurant?
No.
That's one of the new questions. Redban and I, we thought long and hard about adding some new questions and taking some questions out.
I did sneak into several movie theaters for free, but it's a different question.
Yeah, I bolted, I think, twice. And we were in Chinatown. The whole family was in Chinatown in New York City. And I told them, I'll pay. And everybody walked out, and I followed them out.
Well, I had a great scam where you would fold your movie ticket in half, and then you see the theater. You just walk by, like it's already been ripped. And then after the movie's over, you go, "Hey, my friend never showed up. Can I get my money back?" And you unfold the ticket and you get your money back.
Good.
That's why rich people have the most money. They do shit like that. I'm living in Bel Air and I'm sneaking into movie theaters.
Hell yeah. We're gonna have to take a drive by and see where you grew up. The house is still there, right?
House is still there. It's for sale.
Who's living in it now?
I think a rapper.
Wow.
It's got like gold chains on the door or something.
Number 7. Number 8. Have you ever had sex with yourself on an airplane?
Yes. 'Cause my thought was, well, a penis vacuum makes your dick bigger. Because it's based on oxygen. So that this whole plane is a fucking penis vacuum. So I went in the bathroom, jacked off, and I'm like, God damn, it just works. My dick looks bigger than it's,
Oh, very good. Number 9. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be? That's a new question.
Never doing roast battle.
Never. Oh, yeah. Number 10. If you won the lotto, what would be the first thing you would do or buy?
Well, I know one of my favorite 80s musicians is Pat Benatar. Her drummer sells Porsches in Woodland Hills, so I would buy a Porsche from Myron Grumbacher.
Really?
Yeah. I just think it'd be a great story.
Yeah.
And your bonus question. Do you believe there is a God?
No.
Okay. You ready, Kate?
I'm ready.
10 questions.
Okay.
Where would you go in the world if it was a completely paid for, all expensive paid trip? Airfare, taxi fees, restaurants, souvenirs, gratuities, luggage, transportation costs, sailboats, any attractions, anything that you needed, toiletries, perhaps if you needed water for the room, that would be paid for. The whole thing. You wouldn't have to leave the house with a penny.
Oh my God! I got
Everything
water,
would be
too.
paid for if you needed some new panties. Anything. Where would you go?
Morocco.
I want to go to Morocco too.
Yeah, my grandparents actually got married there.
Wow.
I think it'd be cool.
So
yeah,
what's keeping you from going? I
They
guess now?
eloped. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Number 2. Do you like Asian or Portuguese men? Do you prefer Asians or Portuguese?
You know what? I don't think I've ever been with either. Sorry.
Number 3.
What's up with that question?
Well, I mean,
Very specific.
She's in porn. I don't think she's interacted with a lot of Asians.
Number 3. What is your best comedy experience? What was your best comedy experience thus far?
Best one. My very first time I did stand up ever, and I was so nervous. I was at the Comedy Store and I'd never done anything, and I had 24 hours to put together a set, and I was fucking panicking. I drank a bottle of wine and then a pot of coffee, and I did my set and I killed, and I got off stage, and the booker looked at me and he goes, "Hey, this is a career if you want it to be a career," and I've never felt better.
What was the booker's name? Do you remember?
It was David Smalley. It was his show in the Belly Room.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
I thought it might have been Jay Davis.
Number 5. What is your favorite movie?
I tell people it's The Graduate, but it's actually The Departed.
The Departed.
Yeah, it's my only tattoo as well. Yeah.
And what is your favorite? Who's your favorite movie star?
Jack Nicholson in The Departed and The Shining. I have a noted Jack Nicholson thing.
Yeah, I think actors, they should just have big going away parties, retirement parties like most people do. But they just kind of fade away.
Yeah.
You don't hear about them, and they just, he should come out and say, "Hey, look, I'm not making any more movies." What did that? What's his Gene Hackman?
Hackman,
Yeah,
yeah.
he said, "I'm not doing it anymore."
Yeah.
He was one of the greats.
Oh man, he's one of my favorite.
Well, he's my favorite. And he just said, "Fuck it, I'm going to retire to Connecticut."
Man, he's a great actor. Tough guy too in real life.
Yeah, he's
Tough
like a
as-
boxer.
Yeah.
He used to, I don't know if it's true. He said he used to punch people in the face in Manhattan just because actors are doing stuff like that
Yeah.
sometimes to just, you got to be connected to it.
Right? And he loved Gilda Radner.
He did.
Hackman, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Wait, Gene Hackman? Am I thinking about somebody else?
I think you might be
Gene-
thinking about somebody else.
I'm thinking about a different Gene. Gene Wilder. I was thinking about Gene Wilder.
Yeah, that's Gene Wilder.
My
You know,
bad.
he passed on playing Hannibal Lecter.
Gene Hackman did?
Yeah, he's like, it's too violent. I don't like the subject matter.
Wow. Yeah, Gene Hackman, he don't mess around. I like that movie in The French Connection where there's a girl riding a bicycle. This is before Me Too, and he flirts with her, and before you know it, the next scene he's shacking up.
Yeah. He also had some lines that probably can't repeat in this day and age. I think he told Roy Scheider not to trust a
I
certain...
remember. Remember that movie where he was ripping off the gold, and they were making the gold, they were painting the gold different on the railing of the boat, and he got away?
I don't.
They were ripping off the gold from the airplane. I don't know what the name of it is, but there's a scene where he talks about young girls, why people like young girls, and he was just like, wow.
I mean, I have a bit where, the day that middle-aged men stop telling me I look like I'm 15, I fucking quit. And I know you're not like supposed to say that. It's not PC, but have you ever seen a diabetic stare at a jelly donut? Do you know how fucking good it feels to be that jelly donut?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And then you get to tell that diabetic that he can actually have the donut because it's 26 years old and not that sweet.
Wow. How did you get here today?
Today I drove.
Oh, so you're in your own vehicle?
Yeah.
You're going to be okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Jesus Christ.
Number 6. What was your favorite subject in high school?
History.
Number 7. Are you a Jehovah's Witness? And if not, do you know a Jehovah's Witness?
No, but our house got blacklisted by the Jehovah's Witnesses at one point. Because my mother would invite them in and tell them that they could tell her about Jehovah, but she would talk to them just as long about Catholicism. And she did it a couple of times, and then they never came back.
Yeah, we had a Jehovah's Witness on the show once, and it was a very difficult show. It was very.
Imagine. I have compared trying to fix the porn industry to opening your veins with a rusty knife to offer a blood transfusion to a Jehovah's Witness.
Number 8. Do you hate your mother?
Sometimes. Don't tell her.
And number 9.
She already knows.
If you could, what law would you change, or what law would you make?
No more taxes if you make under $50,000 a year. I think that would. Also, I would fund public education and infrastructure improvements. I just think urban planning is very important.
And this one is kind of touchy. We had some problems with this in the past. Be as honest as you can. You have been sworn in.
Okay.
Number 10. Have you ever considered hurting yourself?
Yeah. I do stand up.
Wow. Say that again.
I said, yes, I do stand up. I don't know. There's not much more that you can,
Okay, we'll revisit that. Have you ever considered hurting yourself?
Oh, all the
Do you
time.
want to participate in this podcast?
Well, it's her 10 questions. Unlike most comics, I say, okay, I had my 10 questions. I'll let her have her 10.
Okay. And your
Yes.
and your bonus question.
Okay.
If you weren't an American, what country would you want to be from?
Canada, which is the other country that I'm from, so it works out.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, man, this has been a wonderful podcast. I hope everybody had a good time. Redban, do you want to plug anything? I thought about today in the car. I never asked you if you want to plug anything before we leave. Let's start with you. Do you want to say anything or promote anything? Or
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Subscribe to Dead Air on iTunes. A lot of people don't, they sleep on that. If you would like the audio version, you could just go on iTunes, type in Dead Air, and subscribe to it.
Thank you, Redban. Let's start with you, Earl. Do you want to promote or produce or say anything that people will be able to?
I'm going to penalize myself. And because I was late for 20 minutes, which I apologize sincerely to everyone in this
20
room.
minutes we can't get back, Earl.
Absolutely. So in lieu of that, I'm not going to promote anything.
Not even Inappropriate Earl on
man.
iTunes and YouTube?
Okay, yeah, subscribe to Inappropriate Earl on iTunes.
Tell us all you know about hockey and wrestling in 10 minutes, in 5 seconds.
The jellies on Adult Swim. I'm dying up here. Roast Battle, a great show. If you're friends with Jeff and go to his pool parties, great.
How many seasons has the Adult Swim show been on now? How many
3
seasons?
seasons.
Dynamite.
I'm the only white guy on an all-black cartoon.
And you got that at the Comedy Store.
I
Somebody
did.
came in there, saw him, and liked his voice, liked his mannerisms, liked his personality, liked him, and bam.
Tyler, the Creator. He's the best. If everyone was like him in this business, I wouldn't be
Pleasure to work with, huh?
It just says, please, thank you, good job. But can you come back tomorrow? Yes, Mr.
No
Creator.
drama, no nothing. You know, it's a beautiful thing when you. That's called being user friendly.
Yes.
We love people that are user. It's like when I used to work. You know, there's some people in the office or on the job that you could go to and ask for help, and you could, and other people you wouldn't because it would be too much trouble.
Yeah.
It would be just too much trouble. It would just be trouble.
Well, it's just not that hard to be nice and say thank you.
Yeah.
Like, it's not that fucking difficult.
And be
For
on
some
time.
for some people it is. I
It's
guess
impossible.
Yeah. It really is. Yesterday, I had a friend of mine wanted me to use my truck to pick up bricks at Home Depot in San Pedro. She wanted to do it this morning before dead air at 6 a.m. So I said, no, let's do it. What time does Home Depot close? And she said 9 p.m. So I jumped in my truck and I got there in 15 minutes and pulling into the parking lot. And she called me and said, oh, the bricks aren't here. But that's what happens. But you don't get upset. You try to help out. And, I don't know why I brought that up. Oh, being user friendly.
Yeah.
But did she say
she was
thank
nice.
you?
She was nice, and then she wanted me to go to Signal Hill in Long Beach.
Right. What are you?
I said no. I said no. I said maybe Thursday. I got dead air to do it.
That's the problem with having one of those trucks, man. You just get for moving mattresses, anything. Fuck that.
Yeah, do you want to go to Bakersfield and pick up some cooking dough, you fucking bitch? Oh, sorry. I'm coming in now. I'm waking up now. Sorry.
No, Kate, I am just so excited. I know Redban is. We are so happy that you took the time to come on Dead Air and tell your thrilling story. I hope I was polite. And
You
didn't
were
get
lovely. Thank you both so much for having
too
me.
dirty, because it's a horny subject. Everybody
for sure,
likes
it's
to
dirty.
see strangers fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
I do too. That's why I don't watch porn anymore, because I know everybody in it.
It's just something about watching, when you watch animals have sex, it's not the same. But people, for some reason, it'll catch your eye.
Yeah, it really does. It strikes that dopamine.
It'll catch more than your eye.
Especially when the people are so beautiful. Perfect bodies and tight skin and tight
Yeah, but
stomachs.
the porn in high def, you can really see the acne and shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to see that.
And then,
The stubble, the razor burn.
Yeah, like I watched some porn.
firm buttocks,
It was an anal porn, and the girl had acne on her ass. It was
curved breasts, and
totally ruined the bone.
hard nipples, and just.
I mean,
This is actually the older episode. If you go to
Beautiful
anchor.fm/the Kennedy assassination.
but
that's
her
where
ass looked like Edward James Olmos' face.
I have to finish putting together this
it's
website
so
still.
gross, dude. I'm trying to
I need to
squirt.
change that link.
It's like high def. I'm just saying, porn in VHS is better because you don't quite get the digital
Right,
clarity.
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree.
Like,
yeah.
No, I mean, for once I'm being serious. Like,
That's my OnlyFans, so I wouldn't click that one.
like because if it's a VHS porn, everything's a little blurry. You don't know who the guy or the girl is for the first 5 minutes.
So go ahead, Kate. Tell us what you want to tell us about how people can.
Yeah.
What you want to plug, what you want to promote for. Yes.
Yeah, you can listen to my podcast, The Kennedy Assassination. I interview men that don't like me on the internet about what they don't like about me. It's very fun.
That's a good idea.
Thank you. Yeah,
Interviewing your trolls.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Basically, it turns out it's a little hard to get guests. I spend a lot of time replying to YouTube comments.
Now, is this a live, or is this on the video, or is this in studio?
No, so I do it all myself, like start to finish. I do everything on it. So I do all the booking, I do all the editing, I record it all at home. I just put it like a little podcast studio together in my house, and I feel kind of douchey about it, but I needed a
Well,
quiet.
I could come on and pretend to hate you.
You know what? People keep offering to do that.
I could pretend to be that guy. I could be the guy who
No, it's really
doesn't
fun.
want to have you.
I like the whole concept of just like criticism, and then also like because most people's like thought, like they're, especially trolls, like it's just they just run laps around themselves. Like there's nothing I find funnier than handing someone a shovel to dig their own grave.
Yeah, it's
That
true.
personally is like what I like to do. So you can listen to that. It comes out every Friday. It's on iTunes, Spotify. You can find it hosted at anchor.fm/The Kennedy Assassination. You can find me on Twitter at the OG Kennedy. The is in the, OG is in original gangster Kennedy. And you can find my OnlyFans if you would like to subscribe at theogkennedy.com. I do nudes. I also do comedy on there. So you can find some of my premium stuff. I know Earl hates when people make their fans pay to watch their comedy.
No, not at all.
But to be fair, you can also see my tits.
I don't like it. That's a good deal. Like cameo, like, you know, if you're some unknown comic doing a cameo, like you're charging your 4 fucking fans to talk to you. You fucking.
Well, that would be me. I have Cameo, and I'm charging $50.
Oh, sorry about that. I think cameo's a great idea.
Can I ask you a question before I go?
Yeah.
I know people are going to want to know this. Are you shaved down below?
Yes.
Or are you letting it go? You got a mustache going on? What do they call it?
Hardwood floors, just
A bacon
waxed.
strip.
Just nothing. I really like hairy men, but I personally don't like any
I have a lot
body
of
hair
hair
on
I have
myself.
a lot of hair.
Yeah. I like a
I
nice...
have to comb my back hair.
They call it a
Yeah.
landing strip.
It's like a...
Oh, that's right. Do you have a landing strip?
No,
Thank you.
no.
Yeah, I do.
And you can find me on Venmo and Instagram, and my YouTube channel is the Holtzman Zone. You can buy a YouTube a Dead Air T-shirt if you want, and find me everywhere. And Kate, I want to thank you so much for coming, and Earl, as usual.
Thank you.
You knocked it out of the park.
I'm sorry for being
you
late.
did as well. Thanks. Apology accepted.
I am sorry.
Thanks, man.
Time is money to you guys. Redban's busy.
Oh man, is he? That's why I don't bother him. I don't bother him during the week. Anyway, thanks everybody, and thanks Bad Ashley, and have a good rest of the week. Jeez whiz. Bye bye.